So, if you're ready for a lovely time, this is the Daily Driver 2011 Impala. And it's been making some noise. We thought wheel bearing was going out. You see the shaft right there? You can spin it freely with your hand. It's in park. Yeah, we broke the final drive on the transmission somehow. So, it's a 4T65 transmission. Yay, now we're all down. So this is now the second layer of glaze or putty, whatever you want to call it. But this one I had added about 10% more resin, liquid resin to it to thin it out to make it to where I can put it on smoother and it'll sand flatter, because there was still some gouges up in here and over in there, and I wanted to kind of fill in this hump a little bit. I wish I would have ground out that center piece, but too late now. Not really, but I just don't want to. So the next step is tomorrow to sand that down, and then we should be about ready for paint. I gotta go get some red scuff pads if I can get out tomorrow from the bad transmission. Well, actually no transmission, but if I can get out, I'll go get me some red scuff, scuff this thing down after I sand it, and then prime it. I still have the fuel rails to do, which are sitting over here somewhere in the room. Right there they are. Oh, no, they're not. Oh, right there they are. Duh. So those still have to be sanded, primed paint. Got to pull off them old fuel lines, which some people actually adapt them and use metal lines. You know, it's a cheaper way to do it, but you can do it that way. I don't like it. I just figured get the good new lines. I need to get some carb cleaner and clean all of the injectors real good and paint all of that. Paint all of this, and I also have a sway bar. See if we can't switch around here. My front sway bar over here still needs cleaned and painted. That's going to be a fun one. These not so much. These are can paint. That is actually the tractor paint up there. And after that, I should be close to getting it running. I gotta have my computer tuned, which is new in a box over there, because the guy I got the motor from had misplaced the original one, so he ordered me one. That's why you deal with good people, because when you don't, you would have to buy yourself a new computer. But I still have to put that door panel on, and I'm seriously thinking about pulling the dash pad off and fixing it myself. It's not that bad, but it's bad enough to where I don't like it. And then retexturing with bed liner and hitting with some of that same color blue if I can find it. Other than that, it's wiring still. And the fact that I have a 276 rear end is like terrible. I think I already said that. But new radiators in there, air cleaner, plugs, wires are all in there, which I gotta pull this after I get it cranking. I gotta pull the plugs out, crank it a couple times to spit out anything that's in there. And then after that, I can do new plugs, wires. I always want to say cap and rotor button because old school. But plugs and wires. I need to pull all them. Yeah, I just double stuttered there. I need to pull off all them coil packs and kind of paint them coil brackets. And I'd like to get the new, or not the new, but I'd like to get these in just bolts instead of studs. And just put new bolts in there. Make it look better. Some shinies. Everything else is good. what else do I have to do? I ain't got much to do. I still got to figure out them gauges. I haven't messed with them. I hate wiring, and those are giving me nightmares. So, yeah. And on here still, as I said, I just got to hook up the injectors, the coils, and put the throttle body on all its connectors. I got to clean the throttle body real good too. But the reason I ain't ran the wires to the coils yet is I turn around my injectors to face inward on the intake, so this side would be facing in. Then I plug them in, and it hides all the wiring behind the fuel rail and injectors. So I am pretty much done for tonight, and it's already 100,000 degrees out here. But yeah, I'm gonna let that dry till tomorrow. Make sure it's good and hard. Sand it. And we should be real close to painting that tomorrow. And once it's painted, put it on. I still need to order... I'm thinking about putting a big Bulma sticker on there. If you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, you know what I'm talking about. Well, before my phone rudely interrupted me, other than that, everything else is going together good. So, radiator, power steering lines, this needs painted black. There was something else I needed to paint black, but those need painted black for sure. I got a little rot repair to do on the core support out here. I don't think you can see it tonight. And the passenger side inner fender needs fixed. I'm going to have to get another one. Other than that, though, that will be going back on real soon. Once I get the front end back on, it's game on. Because, I mean, I can put the radiator in 20 minutes. Gotta get a thermostat. Then I just gotta hook up hoses, trans lines, fuel in it, wiring, running. That's it. Alright, so we're basically in stage 3 here. And what that is the top is all smooth now. I just got all these little areas around the actual gosh, I hate that crap. The throttle cable bracket, and around these edges I've got not tucked, but with filler to smooth them out, make them a little more round and good looking. But after that's sanded, then I get to finally paint it. I'm gonna pull this gasket right here off before I paint. I just left it on there for now. Tape that up, tape up your EGR holes, tape up all of these holes for your fuel rails and brackets, and definitely tape up the holes for your fuel injectors, which I just remembered now that I still have to do. But that's part 3 and almost done with it now. Once those are sanded smooth, I can prime it and paint it. Alright, I have finally made it to the point now to where I can hit it with its first coat of primer to show me all the ugly spots that I'll probably still have to fix. But we're getting very close now. I've taped up all the little brass holes for the bolts. And this top one, because I'm just really focused on this top part right here right now. Because if that don't look good, through here and these spots over here and down in there, you really can't tell. But here, that's your money. That's your, that's where it will look good. So I'm going to hit it with its first coat of automotive heat-proof primer. So take a look at it here in a minute. So far, so good. I can taste it. No, I'm not trying to really, slam it on there, but at the same time, I'm kind of trying to slam it on there. Oh, sorry. It is very hot and humid out here. So this should dry pretty fast. And, yep, putting too much on now, it's running. So let's let that dry for a minute. A couple of minutes. Well, a little while anyway. I put it on there pretty thick. And we'll check it after. I really should have used like primer filler on that first. Who cares? So, while I just put another coat of high build, or the first coat of high build on the intake, I am pulling my front clip apart. This fender is in really good shape, the entire thing. Even the inner fender's in good shape. Don't mind all this crap. This one, I think I need to do a little dolly and hammer work to it. It's a little beat up, you can tell. But this inner fender is rotten completely. So it's coming out. And bad news, my core support is actually rotted and broke and bent forward on the left side, which would be the passenger side. So I got some work to do on the front clip here. Don't mind that, that's my old forge. Yeah, so fun. I took out my headlight buckets. They're in here. Not my buckets, or the surround, but Gary put them in. And I'm going to call it because it is hot. So I'm either going to have to fix that thing, which would be fun, trying to bend it back straight when there's no straight surfaces on it. And then weld all it back together to where I can mount the inner fender back to it. Now, one thing I do know is that my hood never really wanted to shut right. It was always off. And I thought that was due to poor alignment. Well, it's probably due to poor core support. Yay. So, done with that for tonight. I need a big GMC badge on there, like off the new trucks. I'm sweating down. I'm going in.